Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's doing well. Dr. Nakumbe will be joining me shortly. I see Lady Navoa in the chat. Hey there, friend. I wish I would have wrote down all the names you came up with for me. So if you remember, put them in the chat. I'm going to write them down. So we're just waiting for Dr. Nakumbe right now. Hope everyone's doing well. It's almost a Friday. Almost to Friday. Let's see here. Beckisha, I can't. I'm about to pull out my sticky notes now. Look like Tarus is in the building. Hello. And then we have, hey, Queen Smiley. We have Black Man Unfiltered himself. We have Black David, or Canadian-born Nigerian, in the back, helping us out. So excited to be here. This is some powerful stuff. When me and Dr. Nakumbe were talking about topics, because there's so many different things we can cover, we decided on relationships, because relationships is such a crucial topic, first of all, but second of all, in this space, it's all people talk about. So why not, give people some helpful information and actually constructive information, versus, all the other stuff, because this is what we do best. Dr. Nakumbe is also a coach, but he is, you know what? I'm about to look up his exact title because I want to do him justice. I know he is a therapist. Let's see here. A licensed professional clinical counselor and addiction counselor. He has all of it. So you guys are really getting good information here, like the best of the best. And he's funny too. Last show I saw him playing me when I was drawing the tree or whatever, or the word. It's okay. That was funny. He was good at illustrating the point though, but I didn't see it until I watched the show back. Let's see here. Yes, Queen Smiley. Well, hey, Quincy. Welcome in. Actually, I've had this mic, but sometimes I'll just have it in front of me, to be brutally honest.
because it's just a pain. And also too, I let I let people's comments get the best of me, and some people will call me TED Talk, or I've gotten Britney Spears before, but it comes in handy when I do use my board. I can turn around and you're still gonna hear me. Or I've gotten Britney Spears before, but it comes in handy. Oh, you got it on in the background. I can turn around and you're still gonna hear me talk. Or I've gotten Britney Spears before, but it comes in handy. Oh, you got it on in the background. You just have YouTube open in the background somewhere.
Maybe.
Perfect. Well, you're muted now, but so maybe you saw something like that. Um, as he gets situated, uh, Blackman Unfiltered put in the chat, which was really good, that if you have any questions that you want to get answered, definitely post the questions. And Sarah says, "Doctor like my dad trying to figure out tech." Yo, that's a fact. Some people are like their parents or like boomers in general. Not that Dr. Nakumbe is a boomer, but um, they're just really good. But that's why I love that my husband's in tech, because show me all the things. If I can make things easier, show me. Like if I can, if there's an easier way to configure my Mac so that it works, then I'll do it. But he has like an Android because he loves all that stuff. I don't care. I'm not. It's the ecosystem. I'm just gonna stay with Apple. Hello, you're ready to go.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yep, sound good.
All right. Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for your patience. I'm running around. So thanks
No
everyone for being
worries.
here. Wow, we have a very interesting show tonight. So we were talking about relationships. This is part two, and I'm not sure what you left off. Did you bring your board with you?
I have it. I can wheel it
Cool.
over
No,
here
good.
if you'd
I have
like.
this board behind me as
No,
well.
you use yours. You use yours, and I'm not turning around this time. I
You,
mentioned to the chat. I
ah,
I was.
yeah.
You
I'm
said
no, but
that.
if hopefully what you caught
I did.
was the fact that I kept asking you to do the same thing over and over and over, even though you knew you had it right.
Oh.
Yeah, which is a form of gaslighting. You know the original definition for
Right, the
gaslighting?
actual. That's
Yeah. Do you know yeah,
interesting.
do you know the definition? I mean the original?
Like where it came from?
Yeah.
Something about was it lights, or it was like a husband and a wife, right? So you
Yes.
tell it because it's kind of blur like
Yep.
fuzzy in my memory.
And I have no idea what country. It's not here in America, somewhere. But they were lighting the gas lamps, the gas lamps, and he would go behind her and blow it out. And when she, man, what the, and she would light it, and he would sneak behind her, and then when she would say, man, he would say, why aren't you turning on the lights? What's going on with the lights? And she's like, I lit the light, and he's like, no, you didn't. And when she was saying, man, I must be going crazy, he played with it. He was like, yeah, you're wrong. So
Right.
gaslighting is a form of allowing people to think that they are wrong.
Mhm.
So even though it seemed playful, well, on my end,
Right. That
it could,
was on the spot too. That was
yeah,
good.
yeah.
That was
So that's
good.
the silly part of me. I'm also a comedian. So even though I have my strong, serious points, the comedian in me would never go away. If I were to rank it, I think I'm a comedian first. So,
That's probably the best order, I would imagine. And it regardless of, the field that you're in
mhm.
primarily, but being yeah, you can't go wrong
Well, because if
being
you can really not take things personal or find the positive and humor in it.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Laughing always feels good. That's so
Hmm.
good.
Now I know we have some people in the chat, and I don't want to hold people too long. Um, yeah. I was trying to get some tech together because I'm on this laptop. I'm be honest. Before I hit these YouTube streets, this is my office. Actually, this is where I know meet people, and I use a board and all that business, and I write. So I'm used to doing in office. So this YouTube streets, I went out buying all kind of crap. I got lights and rings and
Oh,
cameras
yeah.
and I got
Well,
I got all kind of stuff. So anyway, yeah, I'm figuring this out.
man,
But
I will say that's where Google and just Reddit and other people in this space can offer their ideas,
yeah,
because some stuff just isn't necessary, but then other things are, so, you know?
hmm
But yeah, that's cool. You'll be ready to go.
cool. Let's jump into it because I have a lot to say in a short time to say it, and I want you to have time as well. But but I want to look at how do we I want to get into something and then digest it and give some people an opportunity to test the theory. So to be clear, we're not doing therapy, and hopefully you can hear me. And if you guys have tech ideas for me, because like I said, I'm learning this stuff. If you have ideas, please let us know, or let me know, or us know. Put it in the chats.
I'll
Um,
always take ideas.
yes,
That's the
yes, yes.
fact.
You know what works best. I got this new thing is a grip that holds my iPhone as a grip and microphone, and but you can't have it this anyway. So if you have
I
ideas,
just figured
please.
that out last week because of my
Yeah,
husband, because he's in tech, and I was like, "That camera is so nice."
yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, let me back up. Welcome to the Black Man Unfiltered Network. Let's start with that. And we are happy you are here. If you haven't heard it yet, let me say it again, or let me say it now. We strive to be unique. We strive to be significant. We don't strive to be better than. There's no. This is not a competition. There's no competition. However, we strive to give you the best and authentic. You don't need a bunch of performing. So you'll catch us laughing, joking, talking crazy, having fun, being serious. Being serious. We've had people who called in to the different shows who were, very emotional, and they were able to receive support. And then we have times where we talk so crazy, that it gets wild. But we at the end we bring it back together. And even with me, I don't know, Coach K, what you do with like your clients or friends or family. Even me, when I'm having a serious conversation or with my
Mhm.
clients, I tell them, imagine we are going into the doji. We're going into the gymnasium.
Mm.
With me, I go in too. I strip down and put on my sweatpants, and we get in there. Even though I'm the instructor, the professor, psychologist, it doesn't matter. We
Mhm.
we work stuff out, and then at the end, we do like politicians. We shake hands and go get a glass of milk. So,
Milk.
or whatever your flavor is. I don't drink, so
No,
but
that's fine. Oh,
yeah,
soda
and,
maybe. I'm just kidding.
and that's what we want the network, what we offer, we want it to be the same. So if it's a day that you attend a show where we're going at it, please know by the end of that show, we're shaking hands and having virtual milk. All right. We're shaking hands or virtually shaking hands, and we're good. We are good. We are good. And we're very protective of each other. This is family. And I'm probably one of the newest members of the family, but I will protect family as if I had been here 100 years. And that's part of being family. So anyway, welcome. If you have any questions, comments about any of the shows, please get in contact with Black Man Unfiltered. You can drop it here in the chat, but please feel free to ask any questions or whatever. If you feel some kind of way, ask first. Please ask first. And I think part of the work that Coach K and I do, it's about asking questions. Would you agree, Coach? That's what coaching's about, asking questions, right?
All the questions.
People get mad at me. Oh man, I just spent $300 for you to ask me 3 questions. I could have figured this. I could have figured this out on my own.
You wouldn't have
Right?
asked those questions, I bet.
Yes.
Sometimes when I ask myself questions and I try to separate and what would I ask my client when I look at my
hmm
thoughts, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh," but I don't do it automatically. I have to be
Right.
really intentional. So
Right.
that's the power of those questions.
Yeah. So please, if you get your feelings hurt, if you have a thought, if you want to challenge something, please do. I much rather people ask questions. And it's freedom of speech, and you can say whatever and curse us out and all that. But we're not mind readers, and we don't we're not here to make everyone happy. But the point is, always feel free to ask or to have a private chat or conversation. All right. So anyway, with that being said, the show for tonight is not for everyone. The show for tonight is not for everyone. And disclaimer, this is about description, not prescription. Okay, so this is about describing something, not prescribing something. So we're not doing any therapy. I'm not diagnosing. All I'm doing is showing a tool. And Coach K and I, because we both do coaching, but I'm going to show you a tool that I use even before people get to the coaching process. Because when they go to coaching or when they go to therapy or counseling, and there's more than one way to get help. There's more than one way to get help. There are community leaders, mentors, coaching, therapy, counseling, support groups. If you want to be a little bit more, there are other things such as working through with astrology, your zodiac sign. There's even witch work, like witch, W-I-T-C-H. There's even witch work. There's chakra work, yoga. I mean, I can go on and on and on. There's so many different styles or types of help you can get. So please don't feel limited to the stigmas, especially with Black people, we don't get help, or they're only going to try and brainwash you. There are a billion ways, not really a billion, but there are many, 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 many ways to get help. Back in the day, we would just talk to, even before me, they would talk to the elders and just listen to stories. And learn about generational changes and shifts and behaviors and tricks and just listening to stories. So there are many, many, many ways. If you want to go the church route, there's the pastor, the assistant pastor, maybe the youth leader or a mentor. There are so many different ways. Coach, do you have any ways that you can think of that people can get help?
I mean, I think you pretty much covered all of them.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I
Okay.
would say as far as like attacking whatever the problem or issue is, but I will say in addition to those, exercise, you did mention yoga. Like that there's energy work and things like that, but
Oh, yes,
definitely
energy work.
exercise.
Yes,
Just
yes.
moving is
Yep,
powered. But yeah,
yep.
you covered them.
You got it. And just to make sure, because I don't know all the right terms, and Wiccans, I think it's Wiccans,
Yeah,
Wiccans.
that's what beautifully animated put in the chat.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Cool. And if people know other ways, please put it in the chat so people know there are other ways. Please share any experiences you've had, like, oh, you should try this, you should try that. And energy work, Reiki or non-touch energy work is awesome also. So you get healing benefits and support. Tonight's tool, I want to show you the impact of it. One, I want to show you that it works, at least for the work that I do. But remember, it's not for everyone. Not everyone's going to believe in it. And when it comes to knowing yourself, please know you cannot see the tip of your nose. And I have a broad nose, but I can't see it. Now, I had a dark marker. I'm not sniffing. And I don't know if there's enough light. I can't see that.
Yeah, it's like
I
Rudolph.
can't see that. Yeah. And in fact, there are many scars that we get in life where we were bothered by something that have left scars that we can't see, but other people do. You heard the expression that felt like a slap in my face?
Yep.
Right? Let's pretend, and this is not dark enough, it's not going to do justice. And don't worry, I'm not having a spaz moment like he's crazy. But, every time we get a mark or something done to us that we don't like, that hurts us.
Yeah.
And this is not doing me justice, but sometimes we don't even realize the scars that it's left. You can see this. Until I look in the mirror, I can't see this.
Right.
I can't see it. And if you told me, Coach K, tell me I have something on my face, however you would tell me.
Hey, you got something right here, and I think on your cheeks and your forehead too.
Yep. This is how some people try to see within. This is just a metaphor, but this is how some people try and an example. This is how some people try and see within. What? That's their version of looking inside. What?
Right.
Some might pull out a mirror and go, look at that, my nose. But did they get this? So I want to talk about something that's going to help. And Coach K, I'm going to be, looking to you often, but I want us to talk about something that will help us see within, like crystal clear. Because when we get into relationships, me bringing who I am and the other person bringing who they are, if we are not clear what we bring to that relationship, we could actually bring more heat, more smoke, more drama, more chaos than we realize, or more fun than we realize, and it may not match up with our partner. But we think that it's okay. There's some people in the audience. I would love to have someone jump on if we can get. And I know I had actually invited a couple, but is there someone in the audience? Do we have who's here? And I'll give shout outs later. I see beautiful animated. Hello. BMU's here. Who else do we have? Did we see? I know Tayros is here. Queen Smiley is here. Do we have anyone who's willing to volunteer? I'm going to role play. You don't have to get super vulnerable. You don't have to. If there's a couple in the audience, that's even better. If there's a couple, if you have your boo with you, or whatever you call them.
While let's see who volunteers, but what you were saying reminded me of there's a phrase like you can't see the outside or the ingredients of a bottle when you're on the inside. Have you ever heard that?
No.
There's probably a smoother way to say it, but
okay.
I'm gonna look it up.
Is that like a bar? Is that like a bar saying or something? Or?
No, or even like a can, or
okay.
But you can't see the marking on your face,
right.
Your scars if you're on the inside,
right?
Already.
Okay. That
well,
is
unless, but then that gets kind of complicated because it's an inanimate object. Looks like Tarus is, and I want him to correct me, tell me if it's Tarus or not, or how we say it. But he said it looks like he volunteer.
Okay, Tarus will get vulnerable, and then you have someone. There we go. Hey, what's up? What's up?
Hey, good evening, guys.
Your camera looks really clear. Speaking of tech.
Oh yeah, I finally swapped to my iPad. I just be lazy on my laptop and just kind of
yeah. How do we say your name exactly?
Tarus.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to make sure.
So real quick, my last name is Sarat, and spelled backwards is pronounced Tarus.
Okay.
And so if y'all just want to call me Reggie, by the way, it's my real name. It's fine.
All
Whatever you want, but that's cool.
Cool. All right. What I like to do is actually have our tech person. So CBN, if you would close the stream, then I just want to make sure we're not interrupted. If you would close the stream for now that Tyrus is in, or however you do it, you run it, but I just want to make sure we didn't have any interruptions. And then we'll do a short one to see if we can get 2 of these in tonight. All right. Now, Tyrus, how vulnerable would you like to get? How vulnerable are you willing to get?
I think both of you guys know by now that I'm super honest. So
yes, sir.
Let's go.
Yes. All right. I like that about you. What would you like to talk about? Let's pretend you had a problem, a relationship problem. And a relationship can be with anyone. Thank you, sir. Any work, yourself, a significant other, almost significant other, past anything that's a relationship.
So, I will get thanked. I just don't want it to be a pity party about the military service. Just if we could keep it strictly relationship. One of the things that I've gotten better, but I've always had a problem with, is opening up to my wife about some of the things that's happened, like during the deployment, and just kind of like being shut out. Why I'm on like a lot of medications and stuff like that.
Okay.
One of the things that always kept me closed off, Doctor and Coach K, was my relationship with other people, because I had this internal conflict with what I did right?
At what point in your life you did when you did what? I mean, at what point in your life that you
just
did that?
both the deployments.
All right, so
And this and the closed off aspect. This is like an ongoing,
okay.
thing.
So let me pause you there. So we know the troubling issue is something that involved your deployment. How old were you at that time?
My first one was 20, and then 23 was my second one.
All right, so 20 and 23. And Coach K, I don't know if you had that tree. I'm just making note on the board, and this red is not doing us justice. But hopefully,
You want me to get it?
if you don't, I mean, if you don't mind, it's up there. But I'll have to put the camera close once we're done. So what I have right now is I have age 20 to 23 for deployment because that's where the significant event happened and it's impacted you in your relationships. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. Just give me a feeling. Whatever happened led you to what feeling?
It led me to emptiness.
Emptiness. All right. Now, what I like to do is we're going to take that feeling, emptiness, and to give us a description. What does emptiness mean for you?
Not being able to smile or show anger despite the situation that might warrant it.
Not smile or show anger. Okay. So unable to express yourself. I'm assuming some of those relationships you're in, they want to know how you're doing. They want to see you smile. They want to know when you're upset. They want to, come on, talk to me. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on. I can't help you if you don't talk to me.
Yep.
Is that fair to say?
Yes.
All right. Do you want people in your life who are interested in what you have to say or how you feel?
I used to.
Okay. Previous to the deployment?
Yeah, specifically the second one, previous to that one.
Okay. And how, you're 23 at the second one?
Yeah.
All right. So let's do this. We know, and Coach K, just so you know, one of the feelings that comes out of this, and what we'll do is we'll say the feeling is emptiness. And if you would put that in the branches, that would be great. All right. So, and then if you put 23 in the bark of the tree, in the middle of the tree, 23, yep, up there, 23, perfect, thank you. All right, sir. If you would, that feeling of emptiness, not feeling like you could smile or express anger or be yourself, take me back previous to the 23. When was another time in your life you can remember feeling that frustration or inability to express yourself?
Probably when we moved to when I was like 13 and
13.
we had left Fort Stewart, Georgia, and then moved to Cleveland.
All right. So 13, if you put that in the bark, and then you said you moved?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Who's we? Family?
Yeah, mom, dad, myself.
Well, 13. So did you have a choice in that move?
No, but it wasn't necessarily the move so much as the reasons why.
Okay. So it had to move age 13. And the reasons. And that left a feeling of emptiness?
Yeah.
Not being able to express yourself? All right. If you would, that same feeling, if you would go back a few more years and think of another time you felt that.
Not that I can think of, Doctor.
All right. And then even the earliest version, the earliest, even as a little kid, 4, 5, 6 years old, the time you felt you couldn't express yourself. Either you were told to be quiet or not now or don't cry or be a man or anything that involved not expressing your feelings.
I guess that may that happened, but I can't like pinpoint it.
All right. Give me just any age you can remember and maybe that it happened. Or that it happened, but not the specific story.
Oh, like 9.
All right, 9. So Coach K, if you put 9 at the bottom of the bark, and then who would you say of anyone in your family, if anyone in your family, who would be the one to do something? Who would lead you to that feeling?
My mom.
Your mom? All right. All right. All right. And then if you would put mom down in the roots. All right. If you would give us an example of a wife or ex or any partners you've had, anyone who's been in your life. Tell me, what would you say their biggest, significant, largest, and greatest, most significant problem has been in their life? Without telling us their business, but what would you say, like, man, they've always been afraid of snakes, or something that you know for a fact that you can share that they've had a problem with?
Just to be specific, my wife is like born and raised in Germany, and they got a really functioning country. So one of the things we actually have a hard time relating to is there's an actual cultural difference. You know, she grew up in Germany anyway. It's functioning society, healthcare. No one's worried about being homeless. Whereas here, as y'all know, like, if you ain't got bread, you can literally die out here in these streets. Like, it's just a different environment. The pace in Germany is way slower compared to here in America, where it's way faster.
Okay.
And so sometimes our visions of the world clash.
Okay. So if you would put, Coach K, if you would put just right next to the bark, intense, worry, not together, but like intense as one word, and then
Intense
worry.
and then worry.
Yep. Also,
All
it
right,
sounds
put
like,
that up so high.
yep, it sounds like Teros is wise. He knows there's no wiggle room for a fuck up. Like, you need to be on your game here. They don't have the same system, and you would get left behind here.
Yes.
So one of the positives in that same area, right over there, we're going to put a positive to this, and that is he doesn't have time for worry. Like, he knows you need to take care of business. So in the know, we'll call it in the know.
You want to hear?
Yes, please. So 3 words, in the know. Is that fair to say, Teros?
Yes, sir.
All right. On the other side of the tree, we're going to say is the significant other. And so if they have a more understanding, so what will we call her? If you're in the know, does she share that same like intensity for survival?
No.
No. All right. So let's put less intense on her side.
Do you want me to signify like wife or anything?
Well, yeah, you don't have a different color, so yeah, just
Yeah, no, I can.
A star next to it or something. Okay.
Oh, I should have used a different color. I'll go over it.
All right. And then it doesn't have to be too personal. Do you know anything in her childhood that she struggled with at all?
A few things. A major one is like what most kids go through: divorce at 12.
All right, divorce. So on the wife's side, just put D, the D word. Yep, right there, D, the D word, and then
just like divorce or just D word.
Right.
Okay.
Divorce. Good question.
Okay, I'll make sure.
Teros, did your parents divorce?
Yes, but after like when I was 27.
Okay. All right. So now what I want to do is look at, because the whole point of the show is we want to look at how relationships start, and then they have to start to unravel. So let's look at some basics. Even though I hear you say about the M company and the D word going across, I definitely get that. But if you look at our tree, you actually had this issue even before being enlisted. If you look at the tree, it goes on to 13 and then even 9. You had an experience dealing with emptiness or not being able to express yourself, because that's what we tagged at that 23-year-old. You actually had that experience at 9 years old. The owner of the key to this emptiness would not be the M company. The starter of the creator, the one who created this initial experience with emptiness, it may have been the most significant at 20 and 23, but you had already experienced this at 9. And so then if you imagine an invisible backpack, when you were 9, some of that weight, we'll say a weight, went into the backpack. And then at 13, more weight went into the backpack. And then at 20, a big ass chunk went into the backpack. And at 23, boom. Okay. Now, when you get into a conflict or discussion with the missus, well, if her side is her parents went through the D word, well, there may be fear for disconnect, losing my partner, not thinking that you are heard. I want to make sure I please you, love you, care for you. I want you to know that I'm not neglecting you. I don't want what happened to my parents. And now, but I don't see that invisible backpack you wear. I can't see it. And we don't even share in that experience of the breakup. We don't even share. So I can launch off to you. You don't know what it's like to lose a parent.
I don't.
Right. But you know what it's like to transition. So it could be possible that it feels dismissive when we're telling our partners what they don't, what they didn't, what they don't, what they didn't. But if we don't know, see, because if you think about that move was a transition. It may not have been a breakup from the parents, but it was still a transition. So you both understand transitions that were against your will, or for you more so the why, but you both have experience. So when you say to her, I am sorry, you're right. I don't know what it's like to have my parents break up, but I do know what it's like to transition against my will. I know what it's like to have to make a move. I know what it's like to have parents make decisions that I wish I could be part of. I know what it feels like to be powerless. I know so in one way you can actually bond together. There's actually some bonding in that, but most people only find the negative. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like. And let's go through some of this stuff in the tree. So what's in the bark, Coach K?
On the inside or the outside?
Yes, inside.
So we have, are you just asking me this part?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So hit the ages of 23, 13, and 9.
Yep. So we have those ages throughout life, but let's look at the stem you grew up. So that's in the middle. That's in the middle. What's at the bottom in the roots?
Me.
Yep.
Mom.
And at the top is a wife. What's the common denominator?
Where at top is the wife?
I don't think we wrote it, but we were talking about at the top, the most significant was with the relationship with the wife.
Yeah, I was about to ask you if I missed anything else when I was getting my board.
So we'll just put wife up in
the branches?
Yes, please. So
just
what's this?
Purple?
And is she? Yeah, her color is purple. Yes.
Oh, here. Okay.
So what's the common denominator between the wife and the mom? They are both
women.
Women.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Tarus, but that's probably not. But he's the tree, I guess, right?
Right. So he's the tree. Now it doesn't mean he doesn't like women, but much like the M company and the D ship away the D, those are not the starters. Those are not the originators of this empty feeling, just as much as his partner, wife, his boo is not the start of any hostility towards women. The start of it comes from my natural nurturer. And I wouldn't be surprised then if you buried yourself into work, if you buried yourself into making sure there's a sense of purpose for you. Your nurturer, and you had some conflict as a child. You felt empty, couldn't express yourself with your nurturer. Growing into that manhood, you eventually got to the point where I have to do for myself because my own, maybe not these words, so not to the extreme. I might be too strong when I say this, but subconsciously, if my mama didn't do for me, my own mother, if I missed out on certain aspects with my mother, I'm on my own. Even though I have a father, but still my natural nurturer, I'm on my own. If you ever watch your mom be strong and then be weak, that could lead to confusion. And because of that, I know one thing I'm not going to be, I can't afford to be weak. So if you think about that left side of the tree, I think is your left side, Coach K, then we have strength, or we have in the know. I can't be like my mom, that part that's in the roots. I can't be like her. In fact, I want to be better than her. I want to have my life where whatever that friction was, where I'm not going to feel empty anymore. I can't afford to feel empty anymore. So therefore, you then launched off with this, like say, stay busy and work, get into the know. But if you found a new partner who wants your time, how can they get time if you're in the know? You have to work and you have to take care of business. And you don't have time for like the woo. I mean, I'll make time, but I don't have time for a lot of silliness. And when I do give you my time, I need you to take it seriously. Like not have, I mean, we can laugh and play, but I need you to know that was my version of giving you authentic time. And so I also think you might, let's look at the words. If we felt we couldn't express our anger and we couldn't even smile, the little boy in you experienced that at 9, 20, and 23 was the most significant, but you already had this feeling in you at 9. So each one of us inside have a witness, victim, and protector, not multiple personalities. It's just a psych thing. Witness, protector, and victim. And victimization comes in any form. It's even good victimization. If anyone ever threw you, did we talk about this? The surprise birthday party, right? Coach K throws, right? So you can have positive victimization, but still be traumatized. So if you were traumatized at 9, or whatever this experience was at 9, the little boy in you, the man in you will not let the little boy in you feel that pain again. It's called the protector. So I wouldn't be surprised, Teros, that sometimes when you go to talk, the protector in you takes off from where the little boy in you couldn't. So if the little boy couldn't, if the little boy in you was shut down,
How do you know this?
What? The protector in you starts where he left off. I'm gonna make a noise. I don't know how people are doing for a sound, but I'm gonna make a noise. I wouldn't be surprised if you communicate like, "Hey, listen, no, stop." And the reason I'm doing that is not because I want to be loud and scary, is but the little boy in you was already used to, and the protector in you says, no, bullshit. And I'm not even trying to hurt you guys, but you're not even listening to me. And it becomes intense, just all in the name of being heard. From the little boy's perspective. So if you have a partner, though, who was heard or believed they were heard, they can actually say you were scary. And in the beginning, because we actually want what we didn't have. I want someone who's going to nurture me like my mom. I don't want my mom, but I want someone who's going to give me that nurturing. And I could smile. I can be when I'm young. I can rest my head on your bosom. I can rest my head on your lap. Or I can tell you, put your head on my shoulder. Or I could tell you to do something. You say, cool, I'm cool with it because I'm not trying to hurt you. You trust me. I want a partner that trusts me and I can trust them because I've seen some shit in life. And now I have this partner who has a different culture. So I wouldn't be surprised if you two spend a lot of time educating each other. No, babe, listen. That's not how it works over here. Or her saying, ooh, that's not how, we'll have a lot of those conversations. The intent is to care for each other, but at times it can start to unravel the relationship because one is feeling disrespected. You're not listening to me. Boy, I'm listening. I mean, how bad can it be? Are you fucking kidding me? It gets, well, why are you cursing? I'm not fucking cursing. I mean,
Right.
Potential.
One of the things is crazy because she's so cool, calm, and collected how she grew up. And like, how you named the defensiveness. Fuck. I'm sorry. It's just like, it's with, I guess my experience with just women, and not specifically Kaya, even though it's my love of my life, but with women, it was always foreign to feel, I guess, love and compassion. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
You need it up here, right? It was not being able to express yourself.
Yes.
Is that what you said earlier? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let me make sure I get
that's
that one.
The impact. Up in the branches is the impact of the 9-year-old experience. The 9-year-old experience now has led to the impact. And then you had it at 13, and then you had it at 20, and then you had it at 23. And it impacts what's up in the branches. And if you match the two trees together, trees that are right next to each other and the branches are together, the relationship starts to unravel. There's potential for the relationship to unravel, not because you weren't rooted together. You can be rooted side by side, but your roots are different. They say yoked together, but yes, both of you want a partner, companionship, a fighter, someone who hangs in there. You both have those desires, but it can start to unravel because one of you is going to end up feeling like I really can't express myself. See, it's a lose-lose for you. As a little boy, there was time where I really couldn't express myself. And because I don't want to hurt your feelings, or because I seem too aggressive, or because you don't understand me, I'm back to not fully expressing myself. Then I start to shut down, start to be quiet.
I'm just soaking it in, guys. This has got real. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I'm cool.
Yes, sir.
I'm just soaking it in.
For sure. For sure.
Yes, sir. All right. I hope that gave some insight. Thank you. If you have anything, drop us a line. Just
Coach K, Doctor Nakumbe. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
For
got
sure.
it. Thank you.
For
Thank
sure.
you.
Thanks for being willing to come up.
I just got to say, Coach K, I remember the first time I hopped on one of your panels, we had talked about putting everything, like putting the spreadsheets, putting everything on a paper.
Yeah, the goals.
That was the first time I ever seen something like that, essentially on paper.
Oh yeah, to this level.
Because like in my therapy, we only talk about the military and the stuff, like we don't.
Yes. Most regular therapy will talk about the branches because they want you to feel better. You got to feel like, whoa, we can't even move forward until we help you feel better. That's the stuff in the branches. But guess what? It'll come up again and again because the roots were never taken care of.
That's what's so important about the cause or the root.
Now, understanding, because with coaching, there's also the thing of like, well, the tree is the tree. I mean, we could chop it down, but the tree is the tree. So what do we do now? What? Now what? So there's still potential to move forward.
For sure, yeah.
Yes. We didn't even get to that yet. We're only talking about today, like, man, let's get to the roots that might end up unraveling our relationships without us even knowing. All right,
you guys have a great evening. Thank you.
Yeah, you
thank
too.
You for being
vulnerable.
We'll
be covering more next week too.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks,
Please hit those likes for Tay-Rose. Please give him some love.
Yes,
give him some love.
definitely.
Him some love. Hit those super chats. Tell him good job. Thank you for being vulnerable. Please hit those super chats. Let's thank him. Whew.
I recognize that look.
I
mean, it's different for everyone, of course. And again, I'll emphasize I don't do therapy, but when someone, I'm not going to speak for Therese, but with my clients, when they figure something out, it's like, oh,
like that. Yeah, like that.
Oh. I saw it. Yeah.
That's what I said. People get mad at me. Oh, I just paid you all that money. Like a couple of questions, but when that aha moment, like, oh,
aha is right.
Yes.
It's no more wondering why or trying to look outside of you for the answers. Or, wondering how to fix it or just throwing stuff at the wall to see if it works.
Right.
When if you know this, then
yes,
moving forward.
Yes. Once you get the awareness, because none of this makes Tay-Rose or any people in his life, it doesn't make them bad at all. It's not no one's fault.
Or his fault. Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Correct. It's not his at all. But once I have the awareness,
right.
Oh, got it. Because you mean, and the protector is a mug. This is how insurance companies make a lot of money.
Right.
If we address, like, coaching is scary. Coaching is like therapy on steroids, because it's like, you have that problem. Let's get at it. Let's make the plan. How can I help you? Have you asked yourself? So what happens? We end up putting the protector out of business.
It's so much peace. Hey, shout out to Tarus. He sent A $10 super chat said I need that. Hey, we are
Y-
here for you, and
Yes,
just this is
absolutely,
the work for
absolutely.
sure.
Thank you. But I want others. I
Go
mean,
on
can
though,
you
yeah.
please give him? I mean, please, in honor of Tay Rose, please give him a super chat, a shout out, whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
Please. Yes.
Something I thought of too
Yes.
is also that I love Black Men Filters videos, and man, that's talent. Being able to loop all those in. Oh, shout out to Dr. Nakumbe. He says thank you, Tarus.
Yes. Yes.
But I will say too, it is so powerful too to watch someone. I mean, I don't know as far as because you can watch coaching calls, or at least in different things, and just watching someone get coached or get however you want to call this. I want to be clear.
Mhm.
Even if this wasn't your exact situation, it is still so powerful to see how you can apply it or what it could possibly mean for you
Yes.
in
This
your life.
tool is powerful.
Mhm.
It's only a tool. So we didn't do any therapy or anything.
Right,
We just
right.
put things in placement of the tree, and you can do this in business. Businesses do these. They call it root analysis. Root analysis. I do it for all my clients. Even to help save money. Like I tell my clients, we can do more in one session than you do in 5 of regular therapy, just because we get right to it.
Right.
Do we have one more? Do we have one more? Let's do one more if we have it. Let's do one more. I do want to say this is like, in the title it says we were going to do some mind-blowing stuff. I think it's mind-blowing. So again, please hit those super chats so we can, have this platform to continue, keep the support the network. This is platinum here. And I don't mean like in a bragging way. What I'm saying is, to be honest, this is not stuff in my profession. This is not the norm. I mean, and again, I'm not talking about I'm doing above. I'm not saying I do the above. What I'm saying is this is not the norm, because it is about let's figure out how we can help you survive from week to week. Let's help you figure out what can you do differently this week. Let's figure out what you can do to get better results. So we are very results driven.
Right.
The work that I do, I recognize there are certain cultures, certain communities. There are certain communities that were raised with this belief that there is no tomorrow. There are certain groups. I work with adolescents who don't care about making it to 18. So when I say something like, if you don't do better, you might not make it to 18. And how are you going to do when you get to college? And what about when you get married? I don't plan on making it to college. I'm out at 18. I'm lucky if I make it to 21. And it hit me like, man, well, shit. I mean, you can't force it down their throat, and you don't want to push progress. But I said there has to be a way where I can help people find relief. If not resolve anything, just relief. Couple after couple I work with, they say, oh my gosh, you mean all this time this wasn't my fault? Relief.
Right. Hey, Queen Smiley.
We have Queen Smiley in the house. What's up? Hey.
I think I'm about to pass out.
Oh
I
man.
thought somebody else was in the back chat waiting. I was in line.
Yeah.
And,
Oh
yeah.
man. Oh man. Yeah. Now, some people, I just noticed DL Saint says, nope, I push it down and act like I have answers, man stuff. So a lot of times we don't even, it's not even the provider, it's just we are not going to talk about certain things. And if I go to a provider who doesn't look like me, doesn't sound like me, it doesn't have to be white on white or black or Asian on Asian or native or whatever. It doesn't have to be that equal match. But if I believe there's 1 ounce of whatever where I can't trust you, I don't know you, I don't know what you're going to do with my information. In fact, you're responsible for my information differently than others. So that alone, if we were talking about, and actually, Coach K, if we can actually take his stuff down just out of make sure we take his stuff out. I'm gonna erase mine, so it's not. I don't have his name or anything, but I just want to erase it. But if I already have this in me, if I already have trust issues, and then I can't trust the provider, like how are we gonna? If I have betrayal issues, and then I'm gonna go see this provider, So anyway, Queen, what's up? I'm excited. I know you and I had talked a couple of days ago. You had some people that you had talked to, some friends, some ladies who were telling you certain situations about what led them to being single and what led them to having relationship conflict and how certain people respond to them. And I know we chatted a little bit about how, like, man, you understood them, and I wanted to know more about it, but I was like, oh, please don't forget what you told me, because it's their experiences. But I know you said you will remember it and that you will offer it to me as if it were you, because I said, man, if I can get those ladies here, that would be awesome. But if we couldn't, if you would actually tell me what they told you, and without saying their names, we don't want to break their confidentiality.
Right.
So if you would just, share with me, but as if it's you, so we can make it as real as possible. And hopefully they see this and they would get something out of it.
Yeah.
So
Do we
you,
need the tree?
yeah, like, would you, if you don't mind, Coach K, be the
I
tree.
draw another one.
And then, Coach K, I'm going to ask you every time I pause, I want you to ask, what is the benefit of that? So Queen Smiley is going to tell us about someone's story, and then I'm going to pause, and then whatever, and then I want you to ask, what's the? Oh, I'll give you the signal, so that way you're not. My pause might just be me catching my breath. So I'll do, I'll do like this, and then if you would ask, well, what's the benefit of that? And then Queen Smiley, if you would answer to the best of your ability. I know you can't speak for the people, but the best of your ability, what you think they may say or what they went through or whatever, however well you
Okay.
know them. All right.
Okay. All right.
Cool, cool. All right, what should we talk about? And again, please let's give some likes. Make sure you hit that like button. Welcome to the channel. Just in case you just joined us, we are talking about the roots of relationships, why they start and then disconnect. So what's at the roots that's leading these relationships to start and then unravel and disconnect, which is part 2 of our series about knowing yourself and knowing the relationship, having a relationship with yourself. So welcome. Please hit the super chats to support the channel and the network. And let's jump in it. Queen Smiley, rules. What can we support you with today? What are some of those things those ladies told you about?
Um, so we've been having these conversations here in YouTube spaces,
Mm-hmm.
well, in this YouTube space, and so I've shared, of course, some of the videos we've had, and some of my people that jumped in the chat here and there, and as well as we've had conversations outside of this, and so me and my friend girls, and I'm not talking. So if y'all listening in tonight, I'm not talking about any of y'all. Specifically, but we have these girl talks and we're very candid with one another. And so
Mm-hmm.
definitely don't plan to share anything that's too personal. But the struggles, just having, I guess they call it red pill talk, modern women, all of this other stuff, being submissive and things like that. The challenge of being somewhat of a modern woman, but also a traditional woman in the same sense that, some of us are career driven. And so trying to manage wanting things in life and having a career, but also managing the relationships, sometimes it seems that when you're trying and you're putting your best foot forward, and we kind of bite our tongues when some of
Mm-hmm.
us know Black women are opinionated. Okay, we'll
Mm-hmm.
give that. Some of us are a little sassy, right? And so we do our best to mind our tongues, especially when, right, Trey, hybrid, especially when you're embarking upon a new relationship. So you kind of
Yep.
hold back a whole lot, and so in holding back, trying to let everything move forward, when you do start to speak out, then you're something other than being a submissive, traditional, quiet, you know, um, compassionate, all this other thing type of woman, you know. So
So
those are
what was
some of
the
the steps.
benefit of that? Is that was
Mhm.
that your
Yep.
okay, I was
What's the
You know
gonna
that was
benefit of
you know that
the
was that
benefit
finger.
of that type of person? What's the
say
benefit of having that attitude or mentality?
Which type? The quiet type or the one that now
The
has a
one you
voice?
said, red pill, not against being submissive. Is that what you were talking about? That they go, some of the chat is about, I'm not like that, I'm not going to be like that, or they are used. What is that correct?
So it's you're quiet initially going in while you're trying to learn the individual, and so basically you're going in a little quieter. You're listening, you're watching patterns, you're seeing behaviors and all these things, and then when you start to speak out and you say, "Hey, I noticed that. Hey, you know,
Yep,
help me understand this. Hey."
got it.
And so
Okay.
then you're a big mouth, rah rah, clap back black woman.
Yep, and that's true. That's true. For all the rah rah, big clap, big mouth, black women, white women, women, period. I'm going to say black women, that's the title they've been given. I want to
Right.
honor that space for you. You earned that. You earned that. You did not wake up one day and just blah, blah, wah, wah, bam, bam, blah, blah, blah. You did not wake up that way. You were not born that way. Regardless if we like the reason, regardless if we like that you have it, regardless if we like if you do it, the fact is you earned that. Something sparked you, something woke you up, something charged you, something hurt you. And I don't want to go with the, oh, you're angry, hurt black women. No, woman, I'm talking about the fact is something happened. Something happened. Any group of people may have this big campaign about something, but someone, it only takes one to feel a certain way that others can relate to, so you've earned that. The potential, and I won't even call it a problem. I won't call it, because if that deletes everything I just said about you earning it if I say, but the problem is, so no, you earned it, but here's the potential conflict. The potential conflict is the people who are not in that group are most likely the people you're going to attract. Listen again. The people who didn't hurt you and the people who are cheering with you, great, they're cheering with me, but I'm not trying to be with them. They're cheering with me, but I'm trying to be with them. So the people that I want to be with are actually on the other side of you. So the potential conflict is when you show up with this strength, when you show up with this wall, when you show up with this protection, then the people who were on the other side who are not that way, they're going to think, whoa, you're doing too much. And especially if you heard what I said earlier, the invisible backpack, if they don't see your invisible backpack, they think you're just acting an ass. Bitch, what the fuck's wrong with you? And they don't understand that every time those comments come, that's another, it's another, and you're tired. So I totally get it. I want to hold that space sacred and say you've earned it. But let's talk about the potential conflict that it may cause and how it may interfere in you getting what you want. And then, the guy who just did the comedy special, he talked about selective outrage. And so this same swell up, is it selective? Because you don't act that way at work. So is it selective? And then if it is, who is the group or who are the people that you feel this way about? Who are the people you feel this way about? I can't trust a man. I can't, no, you got me, no, I know what to do. Not, no, I can't. When you have a male supervisor. Yeah, but wait. You have a male supervisor. It was the male police officer that pulled you over and you were quite compliant. I didn't want to get killed. Well, what do you think you're swelling up against the man about? Because you refuse to be hurt, damaged, killed. But we can be selective about it. But that adds to the pain. Coach K, if I can't yell at you, but when I go home and I see Queen, I'm releasing on Queen. So again, those women, I want to hold that space and honor that and say, okay, if you're angry, upset, and you think this is some BS, I'm not going to call you big mouth, but I am going to say, wait a second now, wait a second. Am I the enemy? Am I the one you want to? And what's that about? And even though we say, well, the woman should express, it'll take me 2 seconds. It takes 5 seconds for me to say, Queen, what's up? Sit down, sit down. And I don't mean like authoritarian, but I mean, relax, sit down. What's up? What's
And
up?
that matters. And so just like you mentioned, it only takes a second. Because like your example that you just gave, Coach K, I can scream and yell at you, or I can't scream and yell at you, but I'll come home and do it to Queen. That happens in so many lives. And so it's just not a black woman thing. It's people in general, because I've seen this in the military also, where you have men in leadership, where I've
Yes.
literally had to say, hey, look, time out.
Yeah.
We're people, okay? You're in this leadership role. However, because you don't wear the pants at home and because things are not going a certain way elsewhere, don't come over here and kind of push those emotions off on other people because you're
Right.
in this role. And so we have to be mindful of how to kind of gauge that. But oftentimes, we as Black women, and I can only speak as a Black woman,
Uh-huh.
oftentimes we're deemed to be that rah rah individual. And I saw
Yep.
Trey said, I just ignore the rah rah women. But like Dr. Nakumbe is saying, that's coming from somewhere.
Yes.
And so if
Yes.
you have a woman in your life and you're starting to hear some of that rah rah, or hey, look, ugh, you know what? Don't worry about it. I forget it.
Right.
And she
Yeah.
walk off. I wish I should have wore a long wig today. But
Yeah.
just to represent beautifully animated,
Yeah.
throw me that blonde
Yes.
wig over
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
But when you find a woman behaving in that manner, that is coming from somewhere.
Yes. But because of
And
the selectiveness,
because
I,
something is.
yeah.
Go ahead,
And
doctor.
I'm going to cut you off. I just want to say,
Mhm.
but because of the selectiveness, I think you can control it.
Of course.
Right. So therefore you may have earned it, but that doesn't give you permission. You may have earned it, but where's the
Right.
permission to keep it going and going and going, especially to the people who care about you?
Especially to the people who don't deserve it.
Right. But they may not know they deserve it yet. Let's figure that out. Let's figure that out.
Communication is
Yeah,
key.
because some people are innocent, if we call it that, but they are unraveling each other without even knowing it. All
Right.
right. So one of your someone you told me about, I'm gonna say one of your friends, but I don't know their name, so that's good. One of your friends, someone you told me about said,
Let's
um,
name her like
let's give it a
a
name.
alias.
Um,
Oh,
let's call it. What do you want to call it? Queen, give us a name.
I don't know. I'm looking for a name.
Hmm. So if it feels natural,
Tanya.
so it feels natural. What's the most common name you used for a female? Sarah,
Bonquisha is the most common one, but
Bonquisha.
that ain't in a good light. But
Bonquisha.
that ain't in a good light. We ain't
We're
gonna name her
playing.
Bonquisha. Her name gonna be her name gonna be
She said
Tanya.
Tanya.
Oh,
Tanya.
Tanya or
Tanya's gonna
Tanya?
be it. We don't
Shia.
Tanya
want.
with the
Yeah,
All
Bonquisha
right.
ain't gonna be able to work this out.
Any
Hmm.
Shias in the world, this is not about you. We're just picking the name. We're just picking the name. Disclosure.
Oh,
We're just
wait,
picking the name.
Tanya or Sonia or what are we saying?
Tanya.
Oh,
Tanya.
Tanya. Okay.
Tanya.
Yes.
Tanya. Tanya.
Yes.
TonyA. Doctor, huh? All right. TonyA. Got it. Got it. Tanya. Any
That's
Tanyas out
good.
there? This is not about you. La Tanya,
Right.
Shatanya, what Tanya? This is not about you. Not about you. Remember, we're only being descriptive, not prescriptive. Descriptive, not prescriptive. Welcome to the network. All right. So Tanya, I'm assuming you know a little bit about her. That when she gets into relationships, at first she's quiet. So let's look at what that quietness is about. I heard the real precious on her network. She said she was told sometimes you just got to be quiet. Just sit back and be silent. Just sit back and be silent.
That's helpful sometimes.
Hmm. Coach K.
Sorry, I had muted myself. And what's
Yep,
the
yep,
benefit of that? Of being quiet
yep.
sometimes?
The
So
benefit
Queen,
of
what do you
that,
think is the benefit? Yes,
yeah, the
of
benefit
being
of that
quiet,
is being observant, is giving you an
observant.
opportunity to observe,
Okay,
to take in pretty much what's being put out, to learn the individual.
okay.
So you're
Now,
listening.
That's already a check mark, not a red flag, a check mark. Not a red flag, a check mark. When we're being observant, we're usually looking for something. We're looking for something. When we're on the road driving and we're looking, where we're being observant is because we are looking for something.
What you
So
live
that's
for,
a
you.
check mark right there. Yes. So in that tree, up in the
Yep.
bushes, if you excuse me, in the bark, would you please put observant in the bark? Observant. All right. So what else is the benefit of being quiet and observant?
Um, hmm, I don't know. I don't know what else. I guess it
What if
kind of sets a peaceful tone. It provides some peace. You know, it kind of sets that peaceful narrative. Now, I do got a downside to being quiet.
Okay. So what
You're
do you
not.
think the downside of all the people that do this method or do this style? What do you think, Tanya, or you, or anyone else? What do you think the peaceful side of it is?
You're not being truthful or honest. You're holding back.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
acting unbothered, like you're acting
yeah,
unbothered, like it doesn't bother you.
yeah. You're
That's
holding
a
back essentially. That's a
so
downside.
so holding back. All right. Actually, that goes in the top. So
Holding back.
one of the behaviors, one of the potential events, behaviors, symptoms of being in this observant role, there's potential for one of the problems to be holding back, holding back. Even though it's meant to be something
Why did I
good,
write it
the
so high?
potential conflict is that I'm holding back. And then check this out: the partner may be accused of being intense when they didn't even do anything. It's that individual that's been holding back. And we end up saying things like, see, when I'm with you, I don't always know if I can express myself. They know it, but it was their choice to hold back. They didn't understand the impact of being silent. Now, if your partner is pushing, talking about you don't ever talk to me, you act like you don't trust me, you act like, let's get that elephant out the room. They do trust you. All right, Coach K. Queen, pause for a second, Michael. I know you're there. I'm gonna talk to Coach K. Coach K,
Yep.
you and I, you ask me, can you go to your friend's house? Any friend, ask, can you go and tell me that you'll be home at 9? Ask, can you go to a
Um,
friend's house and tell me you'll be home at 9?
sure. Can I go to
All right,
Sheila's house and I'll
you
be home at
can.
9?
Yep, Sheila number one. Sheila, one time, you sure can. Coach K comes home at 9:10 for whatever reason. All right, ask me, can you go on a different night?
Can I to still Sheila's house?
Yep.
Is it Sheila? Okay. Hey, can I go or I'm going to Sheila's house. I'll be back at 9. Or
At
can I
9.
go to Sheila's house?
Sure, yeah, sure. Yeah, we like Sheila. Sheila visit number 2. You get home at what time other than 9? Something past 9, you come home at 9:20. It was really something busy. All right. Sheila time number 3.
Hey, wait, are you the partner or am I
I'm
asking like
parent.
for
I'm parent.
permission? I couldn't remember. A
We're
parent.
doing
Okay.
team. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, can I go to Sheila's house? I'll be home by 9. Hello, please.
Yeah, I'm thinking because last time it was
Oh.
9 and ended up being 9:20. Now Coach K calls at 8:30 and says, "No, look, for real, got a flat tire. You can even talk to the parent." So I talked to the parent, but the deal is, Coach K, you still come home after 9. All right. So let's say it's 9:03. The next time Coach K asks about Sheila and I say no, Coach K, if you say anything like, say, if you would for me, just say, you act like you don't trust me. Ready? Ask about Sheila for number 4.
I'm
Can I go to
acting
Sheila?
like I'm
Yep.
still the Okay.
Yep.
Can I go see Sheila? Is that what I'm asking?
Hell no. But no, listen.
Okay.
But then I want you to follow up with, you act like you don't trust me. All right. Hell
Okay.
no.
Yeah. I gotcha.
No, we're not doing Sheila tonight. No.
Why? Do you not trust me?
Oh no, I do trust you. I
Do you not
trust you
trust
won't be
Sheila?
home at 9. No, I trust you won't be at home at 9. See, the definition of
Mm-hmm.
trust is proof and evidence. The definition of trust is proof and evidence. You proved the first time by coming home at 9:10. You proved the second time by coming home at 9:20. Oh, I wrote the list down, chick. Don't get it mixed up. And then the third time you called at 8:30. Woohoo! Your ass still got home at 9:03. And
Right.
no, I do trust you, honey. You won't be home by 9. The record has already been set. The first time was no, check it out. The first time was an incident. The second time was a coincidence. The third time was a pattern. You are at the pattern stage. I do trust you. You're gonna fuck it up again, or you're gonna
Right.
be
Right.
I
Right.
trust that you
All the
won't be
Sheilas in the
home
chat are making me laugh.
at 9. Yeah, and I trust
Right.
it. I trust it. So a lot of people get twisted by
Right.
that word. Like, oh, you don't trust me. They get all caught up in that. No, I trust that. No, I do trust you. You cheated on me once.
Right.
You
Yeah.
cheated on me
Yeah.
twice. You are a cheater. It's okay. It's in your blood. You cheat. I trust that you will do what you know. In fact, Hink in the basement was talking about if he were at a restaurant and the partner just jumped about, he's like, shit, if she'll do that there, what do you think she'll do at home? I trust when I see behaviors, I trust it. No need in negotiating and debating about it. All right, just wanted to talk about trust. So let's go back. Queen, if you would tell us about Tanya again, or people you know, like, or people you know, Tanya, you or others, that they do it for safety. So what's the opposite of safety?
Unsafe.
All right, unsafe.
Insecure.
If Tanya, if you know, depending how well you know Tanya, and again, I don't want to say a person's name that you told me about. I know you told me about their childhood because you grew up together. But tell me about it. Tell me about Tanya or anyone's childhood where the first time they can remember feeling unsafe between the ages of 4 and 8. Between the ages of 4 and 8, a time that they felt unsafe in any part of their life. They felt unsafe.
I would say perhaps at home.
Okay. Age and what was going on?
At it. Like most families, parent with addiction.
Okay. And what was the age that they would have felt unsafe? Well, first of all, the age of reasoning, right? Or age of understanding.
Right.
So between 4 and 8.
So let's go 8. Highest is 8.
Let's 8. All right. So with addiction, here's what's confusing. And confusion is the worst. I'm not highly religious, but you know one of the most confusing things I've ever heard? Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That is the biggest bunch of crock. Do you know emotional abuse is the worst? Because you know you stick or stone, you can break the bones, and that can heal or whatever. But in the emotional scar, you can't see them but I didn't wipe them off.
Yeah,
in the emotional
scar, it's right here.
Yes, it is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going against the scripture. All I'm saying is sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And I forgot the guy who said if it was the Adam or Judas or Buddhist, whoever it was back in the day that they said it. Mm-hmm. And when they hurt each other back then, it was in the home. So this is what Eve and what's the other guy's name?
Adam, maybe?
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to see if you tell me a different name if she was cheating. But yeah, Adam.
You can't make me laugh.
Yeah.
You can't make me start coughing if I laugh.
Adam and Eve, they had the war within the home. The last place they expected it was in the home. Okay? The last place. All right, well, anyway, that's a side note. But so it's gone on even way back then. Again, I'm not religious, so I don't want to pretend to know these things. If I'm wrong, I apologize. If I butchered it, send me a bill in the mail, whatever. I apologize. But from what I heard. All right, with that being said, this 8-year-old felt unsafe with the parents, your primary caregivers, so your nurturer, the nurturer. So guess what? To the man who feels like this woman is quiet, unrightfully so, no, that's not true. First of all, it has nothing to do with the man. It has nothing to do with that man. So give me an age. Let's see the last Tanya. How old is your friend Tanya?
You say how old she is now?
Yep.
45.
All right, 45. So if she's starting to date now, if she's going to date now and has this issue about being quiet and observant at first, that's cool, but that's unfair because that's related to her 8-year-old self. It's related to her 8-year-old self. So fair in the sense that she needs to be safe, but the reason the man doesn't understand and the reason this can lead to potential unraveling is because she's engaging in a behavior that he didn't earn. She's engaging in a behavior that he didn't earn yet. He didn't earn it yet. Give me an opportunity to fail you. Yeah, I just need to be safe. Then maybe you're not ready. If you need opportunity to be safe from something that really was conditioned in the roots. So Coach K, if you would write in the roots, mom, dad, and there's different, there are different setups at home, mom, dad, they, whatever the equation was at home, we'll put mom, dad for our example, and then unsafe. And then at the lower part of the tree, put the number 8. And the roots is parents and unsafe. And then a little bit higher in the bark, put 8. All right. And then at the top of the bark, put 45. So within that tree, at the bottom of the bark is 8 and as high as 45. And then if you draw a line
on top of observant.
Yep, connect the 45 and the 8 together. Connect the 45 and the 8 together, and then connect the 8 with the word unsafe. Connect the word unsafe down in the roots. So look how we're growing. If we plant an apple seed, huh?
Do you need these two connected?
Parents?
Any other lines that I missed?
Oh, no. So just the line between unsafe down in the roots, and the line goes up to 8, and then the 8 goes to 45. And we will get to the super chat in here in a second. We'll get to super chat. Thank you, beautiful animated. Thank you. We'll get to that in a moment. So the line, notice if you plant an apple seed, you'll get an apple tree. If you plant an apple seed, so in the roots, we have unsafe. So guess what's growing through the pores? Guess what's growing through the DNA, through the backbone? Tanya's existence is about needing to feel safe. Needing to feel safe. She hadn't even got her guy yet.
Yeah, Tanya ain't even a real person, and I feel like you're talking about me, Doc. So
right. Okay, fair.
Together.
Yep.
So don't get to speaking to me.
Yeah. Now, in order to feel safe, we either become busy or distracted. Meaning we need to distract ourselves we need to pretend we're safe, or we need to stay busy and we need to be in the know. We have to be, Coach K.
Right.
If I asked you to go on a trip, and if I said, just meet me at the local Walmart, what's one of your first questions?
Which Walmart? What time?
One? Yeah, what time? Yeah. Where? You're not just going to hit the road, are you?
No.
You sure you wouldn't just be out there? Where? You guys? Where? Would you be out like what?
No, I'm going to save my time and energy.
Yeah. So it makes sense for the person to be safe. Makes sense. However, you don't want to be lost. You don't want to put yourself in a dangerous situation. You are being preventative, right? You are preventing. So let's look now. Let's look at one more thing about Tanya. She felt unsafe. So in order to feel safe, she's either going to be busy or distract herself, and then be in the know. Coach K, you're not hitting the road without being in the know. You're not driving in the dark without being in the know. So therefore, Tanya might be in a relationship where she's asking questions, 1, because she cares, and 2, because she just needs to know. So it's caring, because with her family having addiction, man, could I have helped them? 8-year-olds wonder, could I have helped them? Why were they doing that? Could I have helped them? Why are you doing that? Could I have helped them? Do you know the dangers of that? Could I have helped them? At school, we learned, but why are you doing it? How can I have helped them? My auntie said that, how could I have helped them? So we can grow wondering, how can we help our partner by having them share with us? But at the same time, the sharing is like a double operation. The sharing is
Right.
also so I'm in the know. But if you get a partner who we usually attract the opposite. So while Tanya might want to be in the know, she might actually have someone who's confident. Why? What would she have wanted as an 8-year-old?
To feel safe.
Feel
To feel
safe
like
and
if
confident.
yeah, if someone's with someone that's confident, that's what they want.
So she might be attracted to confident people, at least the ones that
Mhm.
present that way in the beginning until they feel like you
Right.
see through them and then they switch on you, right? So
Right.
they might feel that they may feel that the best relationship is someone who is confident, who I could be safe with, who has themselves put together. Now, watch now, we're starting to build these standards. We're starting to build these standards and expectations from the root. We're starting to build these standards and expectations because I need to feel safe. My guy, my partner, my lady, whoever we're getting with, I just need to know that they won't fuck up the relationship and smoke it away. They won't drink it away. They won't be irresponsible. They won't be. So I already come with these conditions because I was conditioned the opposite. I've watched my family break. I watched my family have conflict. And at that early age, I don't know why this is happening. I may have learned later, but when I learned it at first and it went in my subconscious mind, I didn't know why. So now I stay at 45 years old, needing to know that I am in a safe relationship. And the stimuli at 2 in the afternoon is different than that 2 in the morning. You could be in counseling. I didn't mean to call you a bitch. I know you didn't. It was just, and I just never talked to you that way. And you didn't. I was surprised. And then the counselor says, well, what can you two do this week? Well, I won't call you a bitch. You promise? I promise. As long as you're a fat ass. Oh, I didn't mean to call you fat. No, it's okay. It's okay. I've got some pounds. But no, you deserve. That is wonderful at 2 in the afternoon. But
That's
at
not the
2,
subconscious, is it?
no. And at 2 in the morning, I'm like, yo, fat bitch ass. Ah! It hits differently. It hits differently at
Not
2 in the
making light of
morning.
anyone's situation,
Yes,
but just
but
hearing Dr.
but
Nakumbe.
but but not even at 2 in the morning. If you're driving, we just came back from a good ass time. Man, I'm rubbing your leg or maybe your ball and I'm rubbing the back of your bald head and just, whatever it is, and just it was wonderful. But you happen to go past the exit.
Now I ain't safe because I don't know what you're doing. Because why you driving like that? It's too late at night for you to be doing this. To crazy ass down somewhere.
And I can ask gently, watch where we start to unravel. If I'm with a person who's confident, who knows what they're doing, blah, 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 and I ask, we going somewhere? And then hold on. Talking about you got lost. No, bitch, we got lost. You in the car with me. You saw you saw hold on.
It's the
Woo!
realness. It's the
Woo!
realness. And
No,
I swear, those are the words. Literally.
no.
Just like
Unpack it,
you're
Doc.
Yes,
confused.
okay,
Just go
bear
pull it
with
out.
me. Bear with me. Woo! No, bitch, we got lost.
Wow,
You
no
were in
more.
you were in the car with me. You looked at the sign. And so where I'm thinking, hey, don't come at me with that. You are also thinking, well, where the hell are we going? America's already been discovered. Where the hell are we going?
Right.
So already we're at a different, because the person who's confident doesn't like to feel questioned, and the person who wants to feel safe is questioning, where the hell are you going?
Right.
And it wasn't meant to be hurtful. It was just a small security check. It was a
Right.
small security check. And then if my partner says, did you take your meds today? What's wrong with you? You see, you fucked up a good night. And then here's the unravel, because they didn't know about your 8-year-old self. In most cases, we don't know. So it's not like you said, hey,
Right.
I should probably tell you, I had warts when I was 8 years old, that I held a toad or whatever. We don't tell. There's so many things we don't tell. You know what I mean? Clients and friends I had to like, dang, man, I got herpes. What? Yeah, they didn't even tell me. They said they didn't know. Come to find out my partner has addiction. I didn't know. They didn't tell me. I didn't know. It's all kinds of stuff we didn't know. So because I never told my partner about the 8-year-old self, which wasn't in my mind, right? It wasn't in my mind. So now I just ask that small question. And that's the killer part. I thought I was asking nicely, like, babe, where are we going? Where are you taking me? But it hit me it hit me. Whoa.
And
Whoa. It
it's
hit me.
crazy. You just said that, but it makes me go back and think about the conversation we were having, Coach K. Well, Coach K, you missed the show that day when we were talking about knowing yourself intimately and how it's important to kind of
Mhm.
know who you are, know like where you came from in life and what kind of triggers you so you can know how to respond in situations like that. Because if you don't know your 8-year-old self, how can you manage yourself in that situation when somebody
Mhm.
asks you something so simple as to, hey, babe, where we going? And your
Right.
immediate response is, "Oh, you don't shut the fuck up talking to me. You see me driving this damn car. Like,
Mhm.
I don't need your help." But that 8-year-old self or that self, whoever that confident self is at 8 years old or whatever the
Right.
age was, that was a trigger for that individual.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
same
Now.
thing for that individual
Mhm.
that's riding that say, hey, where we going? Because now I'm
Right.
just starting to feel kind of like unsafe, like, hey, something's about to happen and this
Yeah.
ain't where I thought it was going. And
Yeah.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
important to know yourself to so you can understand who you are in those moments and how to kind of pretty much manage yourself.
yeah.
Right.
Now I'm only talking in theatrics. Not every situation goes like this. I'm only talking in theatrics. Not every situation goes like this. But it can start to unravel because where I thought I could be safe with you, you are now teaching me that I probably should just stay quiet, which then puts me back to where I was in the first place. So I thought we were moving, but I just took a sharp decline and put me back to where I was in the first place. And now I've actually lost interest because I'm back to where I was in the first place. And that feels so uncomfortable for me that I'm actually back where we are in the first place. So, boom, I'm not sure if this is right for me. And then I go back to that observing role. And this can take place, remember, is when the stimuli hits, is when the stimuli hits. In the first 3 months, it might be going swimmingly good. So I might not even have that stimuli for 3 months. So it seemed like we were in the relationship doing well, and then boom, something happened. But it wasn't a boom, something happened. This is actually already in our psyche. This is already in our brain. This is already in our path. So it's nothing new. It's nothing new, but it's just now coming out 3 months later, 6 months later, a year later. So all right, now just a second. We got some questions here. Don't overthink it. You are unraveled, doctor. Yes, yes, I am. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you noticed. And if it doesn't fit, cool. It doesn't have to fit. Doesn't have to fit. All right. So old enough, actually, just old enough. And I'm not a new millennium. No, I'm in the. Oh, what am I? Not a baby boomer. Oh, am I a millennial? Yeah, I'm in
Gen
the.
X, maybe? I don't think you're that
I'm in
old,
the
though.
70s and 80s, 60s, 80s and 90s.
Oh, then I think you are a
Millennial.
millennial.
Yeah, I am
I'm
a
a
millennial.
millennial too.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like at the very end
yeah.
of
You
it.
know the unique thing though with what I'm talking about has been around schema therapy, has been around many, many years. So, Adlerian therapy before any of us were born. So it doesn't matter what millennial, it doesn't matter what generation I am. Psyche is psych. Drug addiction is drug addiction. Mental health is mental health. There's no generation that dealt with mental health better than the next. I mean, there's some new
Um,
medications.
Christina has lots of questions for you.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, put it in the super chats and let me get back to what I was doing. Put it in the super chats. So where did Queen go?
Oh, she probably went to go get some tea or in
Got it.
lemon,
Got it.
probably, or
All
peppermint.
right.
I actually looked up. Oh yeah, she did. The Illyrian theory, and I love it because
Yes.
it basically, from what I remember, um, it's like your beliefs, right?
Yeah.
And was it
Yep.
shortly after
Your
Freud?
tenets in
Is that
life.
right?
Huh? Yeah. What'd you say?
The Adler, he, I guess, came up with it after Freud. Like
Yeah,
he
after
was kind of
Freud.
it's so fascinating how these things come,
Yep.
to be developed, and the theories, and obviously just it's all. I
Yep.
mean, I'm
No,
fascinated by it, but yeah.
and not everyone believes in psychology. This is not for everyone. This is not for
Hmm.
everyone. Whatever path people want to get to where they need to get to heal, to feel better. But studies, and if you believe in science, studies have shown trauma cannot be repaired, cured. Excuse me. Trauma cannot be cured. So no matter whatever method you can use 3 mirrors, you can use whatever, you can use any style you want. Um, but trauma doesn't cure. So it's an ongoing process. So, all right, Queen, let's wrap you up so I can get you back into where you were and what you were doing. All right. So let's look at this with Tanya. I just want to highlight a couple of things. She might most likely be attracted to confident people. Okay. So whoever she's attracted to. And if she gets with that person, but she has questions, they have to understand that she may ask questions. And until we understand something, we might ask a million questions. But it's not until we find the resolve or the answer do we stop answering. If you think about how many couples say, man, how many times are you going to ask me that? They probably are still asking because they haven't found the resolve in it. They haven't found the answer that they were looking for or that made sense to them. It doesn't make sense to them. And then people repeating the same words, that never helps. How many? I told you like 5 times the same answer. I get it, but it's the same answer, so it hasn't really helped me. All right, so let's look at one more potential relationship conflict for Tanya. When she's 45, let's look at the stem that she grew up on and that middle of the bark that she grew up on. And now let's look at, what do you think potential current problems are? Current problems for Tanya. What's going on in her life?
Maybe. Well, no, you know Tanya.
No, go,
Smiling.
Coach K. I want you to go for it. Maybe what?
Okay,
Yeah.
because I know this is a
It's a made up person. So
fictional
yeah.
Tanya. I'm thinking of, I don't know, however you wanna, how this would show up. Maybe just breakdown of relationships, or not like strong connection, I guess, in relationships. I don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah, I would say not doing that. And then of course look at the age 45. I
Yeah.
ain't made it there
Mm.
yet, but the conversations that we're having now is Tanya at some point gonna hit that wall, right?
Yep. Now, was Tanya ever married?
I don't
Let's
think
see.
so.
Okay.
No, we'll say no.
All
I
right.
mean,
So one of the things that involves commitment. So it's not that Tanya can't do it, but if she's not 1,000,000,000% sure, because remember, she's watched parents engage in addiction. So she's actually watched the destruction of a family. And so she can be wife-like. She can be wife-like and have learned how to be a good wife, but not yet ready to commit because she's also watched a mother run into some snags where it impacted. So she's going to play the safe card and probably not get married right away. It's going to impact her decisions. She's either going to stay busy, work, 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 work. Even though she wants a relationship, she's actually buried in her work. And what does work provide? What does work provide?
money, but I was also thinking the busyness too that you were talking
It
about
provides
earlier.
that busyness. It provides I guess
Safety, security.
safety, security, but it provides it's not
Structure?
interference, but
No. Distraction?
some distraction. I
Okay.
couldn't
Yep.
think of that word to
It's a
save my life.
distraction.
No, you're good. No,
Yep.
you're good.
Now, here's the double edge that Tanya would have to watch out for. Here's the killer that a partner won't see. If a partner leans in about, you're too busy, you always work, you're not available, that taps into Tanya's precious. Her precious is about safety, distracting herself from the chaos, and also having a sense of purpose. She also gets a sense of purpose. So, with not feeling safe and not having that connection, where does she get her sense of purpose? And if you interfere in that, you also become you feel like you're one of the enemies
Mm.
because you want me to lower my guard or lessen my hours or be more available. What is the guarantee? And there are none in life, but what is the guarantee that I'm going to be safe? Well,
And
working
yeah,
a job is not going to make you, well, true, but I'm not in my own home with chaos. I'm also not in my own home. If something pops off, I can sue them. I'm also right. I'm also not my home is my kingdom, but I'm out as a distraction. So the suggestion of me to slow down can feel threatening to me, even though they might be making sense. It could feel threatening because, like, ugh, all right, slow down, not distract myself as much, and then what? And then what? And then
I
what?
was just gonna say, and then what? Because I find
Mm-hmm.
myself, and so that's a personal thing for me. I know for me personally, I don't work a lot, but I am quite busy, and I busy myself in a lot. And even me going to counseling, that was one of the revelations that came out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was the fact that, hey, Queen, this what you do. You're I'm very results driven.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so for me, if there's an issue or I see something coming, I need to do the next thing to make sure that's fixed. So I'm a fixer and that's what I do. And so I
Mm-hmm.
just keep my head down and all right,
Mm-hmm.
this is the issue. Here's a solution. Keep going. And
Yep.
so as long as I busy myself, I don't have to deal with the backlash of all that's happening around me. And so for years I did that. And it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't until I went to therapy that I realized, oh, that's why I be
Mm-hmm.
so busy. And then I
Yes.
guess subconsciously I was doing it, but like you mentioned, that was a safe space for me. It
Yep.
was safe. I was doing something. I had purpose. It was meaningful. I was getting things done. I was applauded for it. And so for me, that was
Oh,
comfortable. That was
mhm.
safe.
Yep.
And I'd rather do
Yep.
that than be over here in the unknown
Right.
with you waiting to
Right.
figure
Where
out,
it's danger.
Yep.
so what are we doing here?
Right.
So
Right.
yeah,
And I
that
don't
makes sense.
I don't know how many friends Tanya has, because it can go either way. Either she's very isolative. Usually guys isolate more, but she's either isolative or she's a go doer. Like she has a lot of friends or a lot of people she cares about. A lot of people she cares about. If you come from a home where you watch the care, if you come from a home of any type of abuse, including neglect. And remember, I
Mm.
told you there's positive types. It sounds crazy, positive types of abuse. Hopefully, you guys heard it earlier. And we're going to be wrapping up soon. So please, if you're just getting here, hit that like button. Hit the like button. But we talked about positive abuse. So two parents working. You ask dad to stay home, and dad says, I can't, means well. But in the subconscious mind is abandonment, neglect, and rejection because he couldn't stay home. A 5-year-old doesn't know those words, but that's what goes back there. Now I'm going to double down. Mom, will you just stay home 1 hour? And mom says, ooh, I can't. Why do you have to work so much, mom? 5-year-olds say the darndest things. I have to feed you? Mom, what if I just won't eat if it means you'll stay home for 1 extra hour? So Tanya might find herself in a position where she's like, I have to go work. But if her partner is saying, I'd rather starve than I don't want to lose you for 1 hour. But she might be thinking safety. On top of that, she has to provide. She wants to take care of, and I will be home again. You'll be all right. But that little kid thinks not only neglect, rejection, abandonment, but also the big one is called not good enough. Because mom, I just told you I'll be willing to die, and you left anyway. So Tanya might find partners that say the damnedest things like, you must not care. You must not really love me. You really didn't want a relationship. Why didn't you just tell me at the beginning? What were you thinking about? You're just playing me. You're not for real. You're not serious. You don't know what you want. So there's potential for a partner to say those things with the intent of just saying, hey, stay with me, give me more time, and take care of yourself. You're not taking care of yourself. You're not taking care of yourself. So those are the potential unravels, totally unintentional, but that's where they miss each other. That's where they miss each other. So I just want to highlight. Thank you for the opportunity to highlight those things. If it makes sense, great. If it doesn't fit, no worries. It's not meant to. I'm not trying to force it on you. So I just want you to see. And again, if Tanya, if you watched, hopefully, you were able to hear some parallels. Like, oh yeah, I can relate to that. Or if it didn't, that's cool too. All right, Queen, you have any closing questions?
Oh, no closing questions for me at all. Thank you for your time. Thank you for because there is some parallels. Like I say, Tanya is a made up person. I don't even have a friend named Tanya. I don't know
Oh,
anybody.
yeah,
I
well,
don't even know anybody
yeah,
named Tanya.
yeah, that's right.
Sheila.
Yeah, but I know we talked the
But
other day about you knew
you know,
some people, and I didn't.
yeah,
In
and
light of asking them to come on the show, and at the same time with not disrespecting them by saying their name, I'm glad that you were
right,
able to hold on to those key
yeah.
points for me. So thank you, thank
Yeah.
you, thank
So,
you.
and I appreciate you having me. Like I mentioned, some of the things that, especially in this Tanya conversation, are some of the things that me and many of my friend girls have experienced. Just
Yes,
being Black
yes,
women who are career driven. And again, I can only speak for me because I'm Black and I know the space that I'm in, and I appreciate the melon in my skin. I
yeah,
love it. And
yeah.
so, yeah. So
If your friend,
this
mhm,
is where we find ourselves sometimes, and it's a tough space to be in.
mhm.
Unlike Tanya, I've been married before. It was successful when it was, and when it wasn't, it wasn't, and that was
Okay,
okay for me.
yeah,
And so putting yourself back out there, and to the Tanyas who are listening, when you're
hmm,
putting yourself back out there, take the doctor and Coach K's advice to kind of do the work because you're not ready to go in a situation in
hmm,
any type of relationship if you're feeling as if you still have some of these things hanging on. It's
right,
baggage. Y'all heard Erica Badu say it's
hmm,
bag
right,
lady.
right,
Don't
right,
go in there with that stuff.
right.
Fix yourself, love yourself, and that's all I got. Y'all be blessed.
Fabulous. Thank you, thank you,
Thank you,
thank you.
Queen
And tell you now,
Smiley.
wasn't that bad? You survived, right? So please tell
I
your
survived.
friend, please tell your friend it wasn't that bad. She could have come on, or that other couple could have come on too. All right.
Got it.
Thank
I'll
you.
definitely let them know.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Cool. Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you. We had a super chat earlier. Let's get to that really quick. Let's thank Queen Smiley Rules for coming in. Yay! And we had Tayros earlier. So thank you. Thank you. Who's that super chat from? Let's see what we had. What did we have?
It's beautifully animated. She says tea break, cue the violin. So now that she's got her tea now, but let's hit it.
Yes,
Oh, let me
yes.
slow it down. Rapping with the singing, I be spinging. You can get it all free like welfare. Back to the beginning, know what I told ya. I got 2 degrees, now I'm dumb rich. This sound like some 718 shit. The living weirdo on the same shit. Gave me in, let's go violinist.
All righty.
Yes, yes. Now we're wrapping up soon. We have about 5 minutes. Um, I'm just doing my thank you. So, any thoughts, Coach K? What do you think? What do you think?
It's just interesting. It's fascinating stuff. It can be painful for sure, to kind of unravel. Well, of course, this happens in a relationship, but you got to unravel it either way to kind of shine a light on it.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you see what's there and what you're working with, that's when the process begins. Because
Yes,
it's going to be there regardless. So we might as well take a look at it,
absolutely,
and figure
absolutely.
out all of this.
Now,
What
remember,
about you?
so my thought is, so remember, this is not therapy, and if we end with the question of, okay, so we hear some potentials, that happened then. I'm this person now. I'm not a product. I'm not a product of what happened then. Like, I'm not an angry person. I'm not a hurt person. I'm a whole person. So we're not suggesting that these things are you, but we are suggesting check under the hood, check the tags on your clothes or whatever it may be. Look at what some of the root causes might be. Because what we think are the problems with that tree that we did last, when we went from the root and we fed that line of fear, we fed that line of pain, we fed that line of feeling unsafe, and it grows with us. And we'll take that, we can move to Alaska and we would take it with us to Alaska. Now, part 3, we'll do way more about now what. So some of the stuff I just can't change. It might be a death with some of those people. I can't even have closure with them. I can't talk about it. I can't process. I've forgotten about stuff. I want to let it go. I don't even want to think about it. So we're going to look at, well, what's next? How can you continue to grow as an individual? How can you, now that you've figured out a little bit more about yourself, what's next? What do you do now? Now that you have that awareness, what do you do with it? What's your plan? What is your plan for success? Not just business success, not just work, but what's your plan to be successful within? And then how can you now bring a different, more improved energy to your relationships outside of you? Work, school, friends, family members, significant others. We thank you for being here. I know there were a few more comments. See if we can get to those, and then we're going to wrap up. Let me send my shout out for Queen. And again, Teros, thank you for joining us. I hope this made sense. Anyone have any questions that you have? Let's see. Christina, see a few of your notes. If anyone felt triggered, yep, I couldn't see yours. I didn't see yours while I'm doing my thing, Christina. So if you have questions, absolutely feel free to get a hold of me. If anyone feels triggered, you can go to my website. There's a contact page. That's drnakumbe.com, drnakumbe.com, and go to my contact page, and you can set up a time to consult with me. I definitely don't want to leave anyone hanging, feeling like, whoa, feeling some kind of way. Again, we weren't doing therapy. This was descriptive, not prescriptive. Descriptive, not prescriptive. But if you feel like, man, I want to do that process, or I want to talk more, please do. And remember, this situation didn't hit for everyone. This is not everyone's situation. We're just tapping into some potentials, just some potentials. So definitely, Christina, thank you for being here in the group. And definitely, please do reach out. I won't leave you hanging. Let's get at it. And Coach K, how can people reach you if they want to talk to you?
You can reach me through my website, which is www.coachkr.com, or you can email me at Katie. Well, it's Katie@coachkr.com. We'll have to put our contact information in the descriptions and things like that. Did you want to say your website again, Dr.
Yep,
Nakumbe?
you got it. I'll put it in there, www.drnakumbe.com. And what was yours, Coach K?
It's Katie. We'll just do CoachKR.com.
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 Bam. All right. So yeah,
we might have to hit a tune though, and give Queen Smiley.
Oh yeah, we got a Queen. Yep, Rashawn's in the house. Thank you.
Yeah, because they hit the super chat.
Yeah, and just before we hit on the way out, the super chat, we have a super chat from Queen that says, "Thank you, Dr. Nakumbe and Coach K, for provoking the conversation. Unpack who you are, know who you are, decide what you need to adjust, and be more fruitful." And so, yes, absolutely. And we'll end on that. But one other thing for those who just got here, please do rewatch the replay. It's not for everyone. We were doing a description, not a prescription. And it applies to everyone. Everyone, as I said earlier, male, female, man, woman, non-gender, you name it. It applies to everyone. And I'm not talking about coming from a hurt place or being broken. We are not talking about coming from a hurt place and being broken. We're talking about getting a uniform that we have worn and we got used to, and this is what we wear to protect ourselves. Why do you always wear that jacket? Why do you always have that bag? Why do you always keep a pen with you? Why do you always keep... So certain things that we just kept with us no matter what stage in life, because we learned it at an early stage. We adopted it at an early stage to feel safe. I do this, to do that, I do that. Anyway, thank you again for the love. Please hit the like button. Please tell as many people to watch this. It's free to
Yes.
use. I mean, just use it, and if you can use the tool, great. Any questions, Coach K? Any closing questions?
Nope. I think I'm good. I can't wait for next week.
Sounds good.
Good.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have a good
you.
night.
Thank you. Black
Yeah,
Man
yeah.
Unfiltered. Peace.
Bye.